everybody, and welcome to World's Strongest Man here in the sultry Philippines. And into our incredible pool of talent we dip once again to bring you another all-killer, no-filler episode from Manila. It's Heat 3, featuring 6 more contenders for a place in the grand finals. There's 2 Brits in the mix, and also a very special strongman, a man who made an incredible splash when he arrived here in '98, but who this year may be struggling to keep his head above water.
For the past 20 years, Lithuania's Zydrunas Savickas has been on an epic hunt. This year he enters the landscape hungrier than ever for a record equaling 5th victory. Although his killer instinct shows no sign of slowing down, the wounds are taking longer to heal. And now other predators are on the scene, circling what would be a giant killing. When the survival instinct kicks in, an animal can be at its most fierce. If Big Z's 5th title is to remain on track, he has to overcome a field including 2 British lions. Hicks and Luke Stoltman, and the brash American Robert Oberst, his ambition soaring to new heights. Heat 3 will be the survival of the fittest and strongest.
Well, what a lineup. Graham, Luke, that fellow with the whiskers, Savickas, and as we're joined by Eddie Hall now, there's much for us to discuss, Eddie. First of all, what about the British hopes?
The British hopes looking good. We've got Graham Hicks, just came second at Britain's Strongest Man. Luke Stolman's been away, he's been hiding away, but he's come back, he's looking big. Looks like he's been eating extra haggis lately.
Very possibly. He's going to need it because he's in a group with Zydrunas Savickas, who would have been the favourite until maybe a year or 2 ago. Is he now an ex-favourite, Z? And if so, why?
Yeah, I mean, Big Z's been on the podium pretty much since 2002, and I think last year he suffered some really bad injuries, so he's disappeared, but he's come back and he looks big.
Let's get straight over to the first event then, and first of all, here is Michelle with Graham and Luke.
Graham, lovely to see you back. How are you feeling ahead of the event?
Yeah, I'm really excited. You know, it's been a couple of years now since I've been at World's Strongest Man, so hopefully I'll get off to a good start. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. You know, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
How are you feeling, Stoltman, ahead of the event?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. You know, it's the climate's a bit different from Scotland, obviously. Yeah. That's why we're all sitting here sweating like anything. But I am. I mean, I think we left. It was -5 in Scotland to 35. So it's it's interesting climate. Should be easy. Be fine.
Well, I'm rooting for 2 Brits in the final. That's what I'm looking out for. Good luck, guys.
Well, sweat for some, but tears for others, meanwhile, with the news that one of the group, Iron Bibi, has had to withdraw from the event due to health complications. Our best wishes to Bibi, and with Benzell taking his place in Heat 3, it's over to Event 1, bringing us the action. Colin Bryce, and first up, Danny Wallace.
Thank you, James. So the load and carry, these are our competitors. I'll be picking up sacks. Each one is 150 kg. They do that twice, then they return, carrying essentially 300 kgs worth. It's about 40 sausage dogs, loosely gaffer taped together, humanely. Kohlroos, of course, from Germany, dealing assurance, 29 years old. Up against Stoltman. He spends most of his year, really, going on oil rigs from Invergordon. And finally, Robert Oberst. You know, Colin, he was a former swing dancer, and then one summer he grew 7 inches and his dancing shoes did not fit anymore.
I believe you, Danny.
Well, it's true.
He's some athlete, Big Oberst. He's certainly got the biggest wingspan here. He should be able to get it up quickest, but no, it's Stoltman actually in the middle who's very athletic.
Much more efficient way of carrying it as well than Oberst.
Good to see a German back at World's Strongest Man. This is a bit of a baptism of fire for him, though. He's very statically strong. I'm not sure he's a sprinter.
The last time there was a German here was Florian Trimple in 2009. Now we get to the Farmer's Walk. Nice and strong from Stoltman.
Yeah, oh, his grip's gone. Here comes There's Oberst, like it's rain.
Well, Oberst takes it, Stolman in second. Remember, Colruyt hates the farmer's walk.
Great performance there from Oberst, and that was an opportunity missed by Stoltman.
That is how it's done, Robert.
He doesn't lack confidence.
Robert Oberst.
Can you imagine him doing swing dance?
Pole dance would be worse. There we go for the charge. Look at that. He's got a vice-like grip. Stoltman probably happy it was just 12 meters.
Lane number 1 from Great Britain.
So the Brit, second Brit, Graham Hicks, will be taking on.
Lane number 2 from the United States, Brian Benzell.
Well, replacing Ian Dibby, of course, with those malarial problems. Brian Benzell.
Lane number 3 from Lithuania.
And Big Z, Zydrunas Zaviskas, 4-time World's Strongest Man champion. He's the man to beat.
14th time at a World's Strongest Man contest as well. He just continues to break records. That beats Magnus Samuelsson's on record, and there's Big Z, the old warrior, who's first off here at 41 years old.
And he uses that belly, that power belly, as a shelf, doesn't he?
Absolutely, the power belly, that's, trust me, it's all muscle that. It's extraordinary.
Zaviskas just ahead. And it's the farmer's walk. Again, it's all about the grip, this.
And if Big Z had one weakness, it would be grip. It's something that he's been tested really hard in the past. He's come up a little bit short. There you go.
Oh, look at that. Well, Benzell inched it in front of Big Z. It's 41.55 to beat.
Come on, Graham. He's struggling really badly. I'm not sure he had enough chalk at the end there. He's probably got sweaty hands, these humid conditions. I mean, it doesn't look that hot, but believe you me, it's incredibly hot here. Took little to warm up.
So with 38.69, it is Brian Benzell of the United States. And he will pick up 6 much-needed points.
A brilliant start for Brian Benzell. Last in, first win. And very tight behind him, just 2 seconds separating Robert Oberst in second and Luke Stoltman in fourth. So, a group that features both Luke and Obi, but it's Benzell who leads the first order. Well, we'll see who can find the force to strike back in our next event, which is the Kettlebell Toss here at the Coconut Palace. That's next on World's Strongest Man. Welcome back to the Tachi Palace World's Strongest Man, where amid the sultry surroundings of the Philippines, the 6 men of Heat 3 now get their kettlebell on. Over to Colin and Danny for more.
Well, thank you, James. Here's the Kettlebell Toss. World's Strongest Man Classic. 60 seconds to throw ever increasingly heavy kettlebells backwards over your head, over a bar. Here's who's had a go already. Hicks, Colruyt and Benzell all managed 5, but Hicks is in the lead. Who's it quickest?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the United States.
So next up,
Robert
Obi.
Oberst.
Oberst, we last saw in 2016. Sustained quite a horrible injury, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yeah. He damaged his bicep badly, but managed to keep himself in great shape. He's a svelte 170 kilos. Uh-oh!
Wow, not a good start.
Terrible start. That's the lightest of all of them, the smallest. That should be easy stuff, really, but especially someone as explosive and tall as Oberst.
He's going to have to make up that time. That's going to be on his mind. He's 6'7". Height will help him here.
Absolutely. Not just the height, the long arms. He's got long levers to generate speed. Now, Hicks has 5 in 38 odd seconds. That's not going to get trouble, but it's more about getting 6. Of course, everyone you do is better than someone else. That trumps. You forget the time.
And this will kind of equal with Hicks, and it does. So he needs this now. 53 pounds, this kettlebell.
24 kilograms, over it goes, only just. And he's realised the time, he's just about out.
That's it. Well, he did enough. He is the leader in the Kettlebell Toss overtaking Graham Hicks.
Yeah, I think it's one of those performances that you just know there was so much more there. And let's have a look at the first one again. Up and down. Didn't quite finish the pull off. Released it too early. Trajectory all wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing Lithuania.
Well, Big Z, hugely experienced contender.
Just huge.
Just huge.
As massive as ever.
Surprisingly speedy. Explosive power from the legs.
Yeah, now he didn't quite finish that pull off as well. That's why he was looking backwards. He was worried he'd actually got the trajectory right. He's got it wrong the second time. He needs to finish it off. There we go.
He was straight back on that one, wasn't he? He was not messing about.
I can remember in the old days he would have just been launching these with so much confidence he wouldn't even look back. He'd be running for the next one.
Well, he seems to have lost some of that confidence, or at least some of that focus.
Exactly that. You just start to chase your own tail, don't you? Because you know you're losing time. Of course, the fatigue factor's kicking in now.
This is not a good showing from Big Z.
Oh my goodness me, this is very un-Z-like. This could be his chance of getting into the finals. Evaporating right here. Gets over that. Bullies over number 4.
Yeah, slightly scrappy. Manages 4. That's the end of his minute. So he is 5th in the kettlebell toss, and that is a surprise.
I just wonder whether nerves have crept back into his game. Something he didn't deal with for a very long time. He was so sure of himself, but having been out, coming back, he just a little ring rusty.
Stoltman.
Well, here he is. Another British hope today. Luke Stoltman.
He doesn't waste any time, of course. Coming from Scotland, he's well practiced at the Highland Games where they do something exactly like this. A 56-pound weight over the bar, used for weighing your tatties.
Well, look how far over the bar that is going.
A little bit scrappy there.
Closer. And they're getting heavier each time.
That's better. Used his massive legs to great effect there. Now, number 5. This will take him ahead of Hicks if he does it.
And he does. And at this point, these things weigh about as much as a reasonably heavy suitcase that you're throwing over your own head into the plane itself.
An overweight suitcase. Yeah, it's over 25 kilos, this next one.
Well, look, he doesn't need to go for number 7 here. But why not? Give it a go. I think that'll be that for Stolman.
It's time.
And yeah, he loves doing that. Oh, he got some new tats too. A big year for him. So he wins the kettlebell toss, Luke Stoltman.
Yes, as clothing averse as ever. Why not? It is jolly hot here.
They've just met. It is, in fact, Mrs. Stoltman, isn't it?
It is, yes. Get it right, come on.
Luke, winner of your group for the kettlebell toss, you were looking seriously pumped out there. You must be happy with your performance.
Over the moon, you know, it's a hard group we're in. We've got Big Z, you know, who's possibly the greatest ever, so, you know, for me to take a win against Big Z, that's something that I can take with me to the grave. It's awesome. Maybe a little bit of lady luck as well.
Definitely, it works. Well, this is your beautiful lady, Cushy. Cushy, what's it like being kissed by a sweaty strongman?
It's a nice taste of success, so it's good.
Hopefully there'll be more to come.
Well,
A performance that left us open-mouthed there. Luke beating his nearest rival, Obi, by 12 seconds, with Graham Hicks claiming 3rd and Z a very surprising last. Overall, with 1st place qualifying automatically after 5 events and 2nd and 3rd facing a playoff, there's quite a battle developing between Benzell, Hicks and Oberst and Stolman. Luke just a point off the overall lead, the oil rigger looking well drilled.
Feeling good, a little bit stronger than last year, I think, but so is everyone else here. So I've just got to do me and then let everyone else do them. This year's quite nice for me to have my wife, who she finally out here. Mentally and physically, she's a big supporter for me. Strong men are like big babies sometimes, you know. That just might give you that little bit extra. I don't know. We'll soon see.
Well, back in out of the Coconut Palace, so named, by the way, Eddie, because it's largely made out of coconut wood.
That's pretty impressive.
It certainly is. This actually was put together by the former President Marcos as a venue to do all his partying in. Of course, it's going to be a place where Luke, Graham and Heat 3 are going to be getting down in a very real sense now, because it's the squat lift and a really brutal edition of this particular discipline. Your 15 reps in the final last year blew everybody away, Eddie. These guys only have to do 7, but there's a big twist.
There is a big twist, of course. We've got these 15-kilo barrels. We start at 270 kilo. Each one drops in. I think the end weight's 360 kilo after the 7th rep. That's pretty tough.
So you complete a rep and then they drop a barrel on you. How does that feel?
It feels hard, you know, it puts you off balance, it puts you off mentally, and then you've got to be ready for the referee to give the down signal as well. So you've got to anticipate it, you've got to hold your breath at the right times and be ready to squat and bounce back up as quick as you can.
I should go for it. Let's rejoin our commentators.
Well, thanks, James. It is the squat lift. You need to do 7 reps. As Eddie mentioned, when those barrels drop down, well, it can really put people off their game. First up, well, Colruyt's had a go. He's currently third. He managed 4 reps. Then, in conditions worthy of a slow-motion Rocky montage, Robert Oberst had a go. Managed 5. Ray baited. Benzell went forward. He managed all 7 in 40.27 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And all eyes now turn to this guy, Zaviskus, who should do magnificently on this. It's what we're expecting, Colin. He's the big name for this kind of event. That's why he's looking so nervous.
Yeah, certainly Big Z is a tremendous squatter. I mean, he's been an IPF champion in the past, powerlifting. So this is very much his game. Those massive legs of his, perfect technique. He's got to put in a good time, 40.27 to beat, and then there's the likes of Hicksy and indeed Stoltman to follow. Both great squatters.
And Hicks could trouble him, couldn't he?
Oh, undoubtedly, Hicksy's wild power in his legs, so too Stoltman.
Well, look, we're on to final barrel now.
Quicker than Benzell.
Look at that. 33.1 seconds, all 7 reps. That's going to frighten Hicksy.
Easy, says the referee, easy. Give me another few. Man, that's remarkable. We're getting up close to 400 kilograms. Come rain or shine, Big Z just grinds them out.
Well, then here he is. Graham Hicks, the Brit. Currently in 4th place after 2 events. Yeah, the BDI of Big Z. What you got, Graham?
He drops down into that fast. He's going to try and get a little ricochet effect off the bottom, and it's working. It's a bit of a dangerous technique. If you time it wrong, it can go wrong.
He really is using that bounce to try and get some momentum. 33.1 to beat. You never know.
Oh,
look at the speed of this guy. Can he do it?
He's just right.
Fast. Yes, he has done it. Well, Big Z was right to be worried. 31.43 for the Brit. And he can still raise his arms.
Well, in a way, it's good that he followed Zaviskus. Zaviskus was just that little bit more deliberate.
Oh, dear.
And he's not happy.
Somehow sadder in the rain, isn't it? Like a Guns N' Roses video. Stoltman, then. In 2nd place after 2 events. He's got a lot to do if he's going to catch Hicks.
Well, one thing I'll say about Stoltman is he does very honest squats. Legs close together. This makes that drop down much further for him. High bar as well. Of course, he comes from a bodybuilding background. That's how they do it there. Hicksy just absolutely submarine down and bounce back up again.
It's just that moment of anticipation, isn't it, when you're waiting for the next barrel to roll down.
Just took a wee break there to have a breath.
Oh, look at this. It's going to be a good time.
If he can do it.
Oh, well, very, very close. Man is 6 reps, always delighted. Housewife's favourite. Is the t-shirt coming off? No, not in the rain. But Hicks, delighted. What a showing from the Brit.
Well, another big win for Britain. Graham Hicks this time doing his own chances of making it to the grand final, the power of good, and leaving the overall standings very finely balanced. The top 4 athletes indeed after 3 events, all level on 12 points, with Saviscus 2 points behind. Currently first among equals, it's Graham Hicks.
Well, the weather's turned on us a bit, but Graham, you put in a fantastic performance there. You needed that, didn't you?
Yeah, it was important that I won the squat, really, or at least placed top 2, you know, because I've been lacking behind after the first event. So came 3rd on the Kettlebell Toss and won the squat, so I'm back in with the running now. There's a few events left. I feel confident now, you know, it's put me in a good position. So
it's a 4-way tie now, Graham. There is all to play for, isn't there?
Yeah, and you know, the 2 events coming up is truck pull and log press, and we're all good at truck pull and log press, so you know, you can't call it really. Every point, every second, it all matters right now. So
well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting and very exciting. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers.
Yes, what a finale we have in store in Heat 3. 4 men tied in first place and a 4-time winner knocking on the door. Well, can Big Z put himself back into contention in our next event? 13 tons of bus ball awaits us in Manila. That's next on World's Strongest Man. Welcome back, everyone, to World's Strongest Man in the Philippines. Round 1 went to the former colonies, with Benzell and Oberst placing 1 and 2 in the load and carry. But in event 2 saw the Empire strike back, Luke Stoltman yanking those kettlebells over the bar better than anyone. And in event 3, the squat, it was Graham Hicks' turn to take maximum points, which means that with 3 events still to go, we remarkably have 4 men sharing the lead in this group. Even more remarkably, not one of them is Saviscus. Is the Lithuanian about to launch his challenge? We'll find out. Let's join Eddie and Michelle over at event 4.
Cheers, James. Now, this hunk of metal weighs in at 13 tons. So, Eddie, tell me, what is the best technique for getting a beast like this started?
13 tons is going to be a really hard start. The guys who don't want to get the hips really low, head high, and pull as hard as they can with both arms. Little baby steps, another pull again, and then get into the rhythm.
It's going to be a tough one for sure, isn't it?
It really is. We've got the likes of Graham Hicks, Luke Stolman, Big Z, Robert Oberst. It really could be anyone's. I'm going to lean more towards Big Z. Got the body weight, got the height, so but good luck to the Brits, of course.
Let's see what happens. Now, buses, tractors, planes, all sorts of things really have been pulled over the years, and this event has remained a firm favourite for decades now. So let's see some of the best vehicle rescue moments strongman style.
The Junko's rope is snapped.
And this is neck and neck once again.
And it's Hicks through easily to win.
And the agony of the lactic acid kicking into the legs and arms.
Isn't a bad time at all for the Canadian such as Darren will know.
But this is a great show by Magnus, and it's going to be very close.
Look at the effort and determination in Yuka Alda. He's one of these guys who's got climbing boots on for extra grip. I wonder if it's going to help him. It's not a sprint, it's not an 800-meter race. It's somewhere in between.
This is unbelievable, Kaz. That's 44 tons. Ingvar Gustafsson matches it.
He's really got it moving now, the last 30 feet. Don Reinhardt coming in with a good time. Look at the big guy. Hold Reinhardt's down. Get in there quickly. He stopped the tram before it ran over him.
Yeah, you all right?
Oh, I'm perfect. You're real good. You're real good.
Well then, the bus pull. The classic strongman event. 60 seconds, 30 metres, and a bus. What are the rules, you might be thinking? The rules are you pull the bus. Graham Hicks. Well, he didn't manage 30 metres. He managed 29.9. He's in 3rd. But Colrus, he managed it. He's in 2nd. He managed it in 42.66 seconds. Who's first then? Brian Benzell. He's leading. Just inched ahead of Colrus with 41.47 seconds.
Representing the United States.
So it's OB.
Oberst.
Next up. 32 years old. And watch for the baby steps first of all, as Eddie said.
Well, it's interesting, Eddie chose Z. Actually, Oberst is also of a similar body weight. Mass pulls mass, so there's no doubt about it that Oberst could be right up there here. It's a little high. The towing rope is often a sign as to how good a pull they're doing. The flatter that is to the ground, the better.
Very often people go very, very low. He's using no height that we used to, but it seems to be working for him.
Well, he's 175 kilos, and that certainly helps as well. Oh, we've got a little bear crawl to finish off.
Well, there you go. Well, exhausted, of course, as you might expect. 39.46 seconds is enough to put him in the lead.
A bit unconventional, but he bundled it across the line somehow.
Representing Great Britain.
So Stoltman then,
Stoltman.
tied in first place. Go lower.
Yes, he does, just a little bit lower. He could have driven with his hips a bit harder and longer. And the momentum up on the bus is key. And he's giving away, he might look like a huge man, and he is at 24 stone, but he's still 4 or 5 stones shy of the likes of OB and Z.
Interesting noises he's making. Does sound like he's malfunctioning a bit.
A steam engine.
Look at this. The rhythm. Power. Can't afford to let this slow. Very hard to get it going again.
Oh, this is going to be tight. His legs are all pumped up now.
Oh, look at that. Manages it. 41.49 seconds. Not enough to take first or second. Just 2/100ths of the second behind Brian Benzell. Will this cost Luke?
Representing Lithuania.
So Viscous, Big Z. Well, this is a hugely important moment for him if he wants to progress. He's in 5th place at the moment. A disastrous time with the kettlebell. I mean, he didn't expect to see him in 5th place at this stage.
I mean, like, never would you expect Big C. Listen to the noises. Off he goes. And this is a man who's won truck pull on several occasions in the World's Strongest Man final. So he is a bit of an expert at this. His body weight's back up again. That certainly helps. So this is starting to motor now.
It really is. I mean, this is sort of do or die for him. He knows that. He doesn't do well here. He's as good as gone. 39.46 to beat. Whereabouts is he? I think he's going to do it.
Yes, looks good.
Well, look at that. Not even close. 37.28 seconds. He takes the bus pull, and he needed that. Signature tongue work. It's actually how he drinks milk.
Sadrunas, congratulations on winning the bus pull event.
Thank you.
You must be feeling good, right?
Yes, I feel good. I need points, and track pull is one of the favorite events, and I need to win this event.
Brilliant. You were looking very good out there. And Obi, I mean, you came a very close second. You're 1 point ahead overall in the group. It's a tight group, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tight group. I'm happy to be in first place right now. You know, I think I've proven I'm not just the prettiest guy here, I'm one of the strongest.
I mean, you are very pretty, but yeah, being strong is good too.
Don't make me blush.
Pretty good from Obi, but Z is the big story, taking the event win ahead of the American, while further down, Luke Stoltman missing out on 3rd by just 2/100ths of a second. How costly might that prove down the line? For now, Stoltman is a point outside the 2 playoff positions, still just 2 points between 1st and 4th place. So Viscous is back in the mix, but happiest of all is Oberst.
I have been resting and at home. I took about a year off, had the injury. You know, I thought I was done, but I still had the fire. I wasn't done being competitive, you know. I found myself racing old ladies to the line at the grocery store. I had gone to the top so fast, and it was never good enough. And anytime someone complimented me, I would return with, I should have done better. I never could accept any of the good stuff from what I was doing, and I never took care of myself because of that. So I want to enjoy the moment in the moment, and I finally learned how to do that.
At the moment, it's Oberst in first, but we move on now to event 5, where top spot and the playoff places will be decided. 5 men have a real shot here at making the grand final. Each will fancy their chances on this overhead press, but who will get the points they need? Let's find out with our commentators, Colin and Danny.
Thanks, James. So the overhead press, 60 seconds to lift one of those logs as many times as you can, locking out above your head.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the left.
And Graham Hicks,
Great Britain.
well, he has to do well here.
Hicks.
At one point he was tied for 1st, he's dropped down to 5th. come back now.
On the right, representing
Against Kohlruss from Germany.
Kohlruss.
Currently placed 6th.
Massive performance needed here by Hicksy. Oh, I don't think you can do that any quicker. 160 kilos is extraordinary. Kohlruss looking a bit more mortal.
Hicks has already pulled well ahead of Kohlruss.
This is going to be fascinating how this unfolds, because he might be in 5th, Hicksy, but he just dropped to 5th from 1st from the last event, so they're all very close. Perhaps Kohlruss is the one man who's out of it. So Hicksy needs to put in a massive score here. And if he's top, he'll go through automatically to the grand final, but if he's 2nd or 3rd, he gets into that stone shootout.
Absolutely, looking forward to the Atlas Stones, but will Hicks be there? I mean, look at this. Oh, I was about to say, it's very high scoring.
Something happened there with his left shoulder, just seemed to give way a little bit, and something's not quite right, or he'd get back up and give it a go. Oh, that's bad news.
Well, 6 reps. Very good showing. We're worried about his shoulder or his arm now.
Let's have another look again. I think it's his left arm. He just goes off balance a little bit, and then as he's coming down, his hand got stuck in the handle.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the left.
On to another rip then.
Great Britain.
Stoltman.
Stolman.
Yeah, he's going to be wanting to chase 2nd or 3rd, isn't he? So he can get the Atlas Stones.
On the right, representing the United States, Benzell.
He's going to get past Benzell. Tied in 2nd so far. Six to beat.
He's got great shoulders on him, Stolman. So too does Benzell. He's the quicker of the two. He's very explosive, Benzell. Deceptive looking character, he really is.
Stoltman not dropping that log, lowering it, keeping the grip, cracking on.
Oh, I mean, in terms of just sheer power, Stoltman's far higher, but Benzell just uses his body perfectly.
30 seconds to go.
He's one ahead at the moment. Benzell again snaps it out. 4 apiece. There's only 20 seconds to go. I don't think they're going to get many more than 1 each. If that.
Well, 10 seconds. Can Stoltman equal 6 reps? Just a few seconds left. Just a bit more. He does. Oh, he's got to be happy with that.
Well, that puts him first with Hicksy. That guarantees he goes into the stone shootout at worst. Come on, lad!
You come on then. And Benzell, well, 4 reps. Puts him in 4th in the overhead press.
And suddenly Benzell's hopes are looking pretty poor now. And actually getting into that stone shootout. I mean, Stolman can actually win this group.
Oberst.
Well, here he is, Robert Oberst, leading after 4 events, showing us his dainty wristband up against Big Z.
A 4-time World's Strongest Man champion.
And I think what was interesting about not only what Stoltman managed just then, you know, it looked like he wasn't going to lift that, he locked out, he fought it. And what we saw in Robert Oberst's tape a little bit earlier, the psychological strength that you need as well as the physical.
Yes, indeed, and both men blasting up that first rep. No, Oberst came down too quickly. Well, talk about psychological strength. He didn't wait for the down signal. That was a foolish error.
It gives Zaviskas now the chance to pull ahead.
Just a mistake Zaviskas wouldn't make.
Just over 30 seconds to go. Still 6 to beat. Zaviskas, I've got to say, it looks like he's going to pull past that.
We are looking at the American record holder in terms of maximum log pressing power, and the world record holder on the right-hand side in Big Z. So both of these men could keep pressing for the full minute.
Well, Zaviskas has done it. Beaten 6 onto 7. And not to 8th.
And that was Oberst dangerous though, and Oberst, oh, he'd be on 7 now.
Has he got time? No, didn't quite lock out. But my goodness me, was half a second doing so.
He's not a happy boy, but if you look at this again, slow-mo probably does him a bit of a favour here, but if you don't prove to the referee you're in control, it was falling forward, and he didn't hold it long enough.
And that really is as good as where he lost first place to this guy, today's comeback kid, Big Z.
So Drew, it's an epic showdown between arguably two of the best log lifters in the world, and when it came to the crunch, you pulled it out the bag, didn't you?
It's my best event. I have world record in that event. I never lost log lift in last 15 years, and I was sure that I will lift one more rep than I need. I lift 2 reps, so did 1 extra.
You came, you delivered, it's great to see you in the final.
Z back from the dead in Heat 3, and big news for Luke Stolman, that last gasp lift earning him a share of 2nd place in the event with Hicks and Obi. Which means it's Luke who takes 3rd overall, making the Atlas Stone playoff against the man in 2nd, Robert Oberst. Hicks and Benzell will face each other to see who'll finish 4th and 5th. So it's all about the Atlas Stones. Luke Stolman just 1 step away from his first grand final, but facing the formidable Robert Oberst. It's America versus Great Britain in a stone showdown next on the Tachi Palace World's Strongest Man. Welcome back. It's crunch time in Manila. With Big Z automatically through, 1 place in the grand final remains to be decided from Heat 3. Carrying British hopes is burly Scot Luke Stoltman, but in his way, 400 pounds of bewhiskered US beef by the name of Robert Oberst. Eddie Hall is with him now.
Thanks, James. Robert Oberst, are you disappointed you didn't automatically qualify?
Yeah. You know, obviously it'd be nice not to do the stones. It's hot, humid, and for those of us that are working, it's hard work. So I wanted to beat Z, but it is what it is. You know, I'll come out and I'll fight and see if I can still get into the finals.
Last event, going up against Luke Stoltman, how do you feel about that?
Well, I feel pretty good. Like most of the Brits, he's small and weak, so I think I'll do well.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Oberst v Stoltman then. Who will make the final? It's over to Colin and Danny.
Yes, Oberst v Stoltman. It's just like Frost versus Nixon before, wasn't it, as well with Eddie? But it's the Atlas Stones now, 60 seconds. These stones only get heavier. Very simply, whoever is fastest, convince all 5, will go through to the grand final. The question is, will it be this guy who thinks all Brits are small and weak? Or will it be this, not small, not weak Brit? Stoltman wants to see his first World's Strongest Man grand final.
I'm afraid to say that Robert Oberst is one of the best stone lifters in the world, and he's on the left-hand side. Little slip there, though. Stoltman's in the lead.
There was a slight slip as well, it seemed, from Stoltman. But Stoltman is markedly in the lead.
Can't take his time too much in the middle. He's got to just keep moving these stones up. Oberst has caught him.
Well, barring a disaster from Oberst, it looks like he's got it, but Stoltman, well, he's nipping at his heels. Oberst struggling slightly.
It's a huge stone.
But he's done it. Oberst is through to the World's Strongest Man grand final. And that's a disaster for Stoltman and his wife.
That's how it's done. 2nd time he's made it to the World's Strongest Man final. First time just seemed too easy for him. This time he really had to earn it.
Dallas World Strongest Man Final, representing the United States.
Well, we'll see him then in the grand final.
Oberst.
Alongside the likes of Bjornsson.
Massive opportunity for Stolman. Gutted, but for Robert Oberst, well, he might not like the British, but you have to respect him. He is a very strong man.
Luke, you were so close!
Yeah, touch and go there, but I mean, give it all credit OB today, he was a better man in the day. I can't do anything more than I tried there, so he did awesome. Wishing the best of luck in the final, you know, that's all I can do.
You're a true sportsman, Luke, and it was an absolute amazing effort. Well done. But I'm telling you what, you have proved that you are not just a pretty face. How are you feeling? What does it mean for you to get through to the final?
I feel great. I feel amazing right now. You know, a lot of credit to Luke and the rest of the guys in the group. We fought. This was a battle all the way through with Z and everybody else. So coming out of this group and going into the finals, I feel pretty damn good, if I'm allowed to say that.
What's your plan of attack for the next round?
Just keep it up, you know, be strong and pretty and see where I land.
Strong and pretty, I love it.
Strong and pretty strong. Congratulations to OB, who joins Big Z in the grand final. Luke again finishing third for the third year in a row, with further down Benzell getting the better of Graham Hicks in their playoff for 4th and 5th. So another day draws to a close on World's Strongest Man. Eddie, next time up, Heat 4, featuring Mark Felix.
Mark Felix, 52 years old, keeps coming back bigger and bigger and stronger. It's unbelievable.
Sun never seems to set on him. He is going to be facing, though, a very tough field featuring the 4th and 5th place finishers overall last year, Caron and Lissis.
Yeah, I think Felix has got the short straw this year, but you know what? He's got the biggest heart of all the strongmen I've ever met, so he's got every chance to pull it off.
All right, looking forward to seeing that. For now, on a day that's seen Z take first ahead of Oberst and the Brits make exits, is goodbye from all of us here at World's Strongest Man.